Hey y'all, it's Tina Parker with the Uniting Artists podcast. This is part two because we had so many stories to share and interesting, intriguing, thought-provoking things. So I hope you enjoy the second part of the Uniting Artists podcast with Matthew Rivera. I heard once that if you're smiling when you're talking, it comes through on like when you're on the phone.
Yeah, I'm always smiling when I'm talking on the phone.
I was thinking of when we were talking about setting the tone, and it also reminded me of reading your crew and understanding your crew. Like it is kind of nice, even though we're so collaborative. I thought, it is interesting, and I think it is important to read, how the camera department works, when to kind of go in, when the best time is to ask those certain questions. Because yes, of course, there's always the typical when to do things, but to really understand and know that crew is one thing. And then just really taking the extra time to be a day maker. I'm not sure who needs to hear this story, but it has come into my mind about 5 times on this podcast. So I'm just going to speak to it. And with reading the room and being that positive beacon, I really feel like we're working in such a fast pace in the industry that we have to follow those quick spidey senses that quickly approach, and sometimes it could be the most subtle thing, but in order to help kind of sharpen one another and lift each other up. I was thinking about the David Wagner story, and he was a hairstylist who was closing up shop, had a walk-in come in and said, "Hey, do you have time to fit one more haircut or color or whatever, one more service?" And he said, "I was closing up shop, but I will. I'll do one more service." And he gave her the service, and they had such a lovely time. He didn't think anything of it. And then weeks later, he got a letter thanking him for his time because she was actually planning on taking her own life. And she
Wow.
wanted to look beautiful for when she was found. And because of that moment with him, she decided not to go through with it. And you really just never know what those spidey senses are on set, whether it's, a good conversation, a harder conversation that you can have like a little positive spin on. But yeah, I'm not sure who needed to hear that, but that kind of kept creeping in my mind. And you just never know the influence that you're going to have on someone. So just choosing kindness and love first, I feel like that just kind of backs up what Tina and both Matthew have been saying. And just our little banter all about, setting the tone. So
I know, no, and that's so good. My nickname is Tornado Tina, so I'm like, "Brrr." And so uh, thank you for reminding me and to be more open to that amongst my tornado-ness to uh, really take the pause and kind of maybe just being open, like who needs me today, who needs to hear something joyful or whatever. And I think we are used in this world that way, and that person was able to, um, not rush home and say, "Nah, took him in and saved a life." A hair.
yeah, never know. Whether it's talent in the chair or a crew, I just think we work long enough and hard enough hours. And like you said, we're with each other longer than we are with our own families and friends. So, set friends need to be lifted up. And I think it's a real community that could have more of a backbone and true support.
Really take the pause and kind of maybe just being open, like who needs me today, who needs to hear something joyful or whatever. And I think we are used in this world that way, and that person was able to.
I was the outsider. Everyone's local. So I'm like, I'm a, you guys are kind of like the host, right? I'm a guest. That's how I felt. I went into Homestead recognizing I'm like, okay, I'm a guest. I'm working with all these locals. They don't know who I am. I'm just the DP from LA. So what can I do to establish a culture that makes them feel comfortable with me, but makes them feel like there's true collaboration and makes them feel safe being under my leadership because that's really important to me. And so on the film, and we implemented it on the 2 episodes as well. Um, Chris Daniels, the first AC on the film, I told him I was like, hey man, let's if we can, let's at least one day out of the week, let's prioritize our department having dinner together, pending we wrap at a decent hour. You know, and in this case, like our call time was like typically at like 6 a.m., you know, 6:30. So we were wrapping, you know, at like 7:30. And we committed to that. And we started, I mean, it was like a 4-week show for the feature. So first week it was, you know, we made sure, I think it was like on a Thursday, we would grab dinner. And then the second week, you know, it ended up being like, you know, we made sure we prioritized it. We stuck to it. We wrapped at a decent hour at the camera department. We all grabbed dinner together. And by the last 2 weeks, by the last week, we were grabbing dinner as a camera team like every night. You know, and we're not like going buck wild and like getting drunk and partying. It's just like, no, that wasn't it. It was just like, hey, let's go grab a bite. Let's connect. Let's, you know, if you got anything to vent about or complain about, like this is a safe place. Like you know, just get it off your chest, because at the end of the day, you're finishing your day before you go to bed being heard, and you're being heard by your department head. And if it's a situation that we need to address with production, well, then we can carry it over to tomorrow. And more often than not, I felt like it not only did it like break the ice, but it allowed all of us to feel closer. And the next day you kind of you feel like you're starting fresh. You're not carrying over the baggage from the day prior. You're going in, you vented, you complained, you know, you crack jokes about it, you find the humor in it. And, you know, we kind of suffer, you know, together. And I felt like just prioritizing camaraderie and fellowship and sitting at a table and laughing and talking about the day. You're going in, you vented, you complained, you know, you crack jokes about it, you find the humor in it. And, you know, we kind of suffer, you know, together. And you feel like you're starting fresh. You're not carrying over the baggage from the day prior. You're going in, you vented, you complained, you know, you crack jokes about it, you find the humor in it. And, you know, whoever's listening, if they're, you know, getting into their first couple features, or if you just lead in a way that makes your team feel like they can approach you with any problem, and then you guys could figure out the solution together. But also, you know, you can have dinner together, you can work together, you can go through the hardship together on set. Then it's just like, man, you become like unstoppable. I tell my team, no matter what, I'm like, look, if you have a problem, if there's something happening, if you have any type of grievance, or if there's a discrepancy, or there's an issue that you have, talk to me first. Let's figure it out together, and then we'll approach production together. And more often than not, it's like, man, when people feel like that someone has their back, it changes the whole dynamic of how things work on set within that department. So like, I'm a huge advocate for establishing a strong set culture, especially within your respective department. You know, and at the end of every show, you know, I write a handwritten letter thanking my team and highlighting something of positivity or strength that I observed that they had and that they exhibited on set. And I always just try to reinforce the the um, the strengths that that person has, because you never know. Again, like going back to what you were saying, you never know what people are going through. People struggle with self-doubt, people struggle with anxieties, people struggle with insecurities. And if you could just kind of go back to what I was saying before, just sharpen them any way you can, whether it is through a thank you note, or whether it is having dinner with them and letting them just kind of like vent about the day, you're going to change the dynamic of how the set runs. But also, I truly believe it spills into the creative quality as well. So people struggle with self-doubt, people struggle with anxieties, people struggle with insecurities. And if you could just,
You know, the seasons after seasons, when you've been on a show for 5-6 years and you work with a team long enough, even if it's jumping from one job to the next, I feel like it's really important to rely on those modes of communication and ways to clear the air, because, and I actually call them hills and valleys. And so at the end of like a hard day, hard week, whatever it might be, just connecting with my team all the time and just asking what everyone's hills and valleys are. It's really important to work those things out. And I think a lot of that stuff is just naturally resolved and dissolved, just organically, by bringing that up. And someone would be like, oh, actually, this was my perspective of it. And it'd be like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool too. Okay, tie that one to balloons. And I think that that's just really great to know that you are creating a culture, because they are going to feel like you do have their back more.
Absolutely. And I feel like, I'm going to throw a shout out to her, Jenny Morris, our AD on Homestead. The way she works with her team, and her team loves her. Like they would go to they would fight any battle and go into any war with her. Like the way she leads her team, and then the way her team has her back, it's like that's someone who gets it. And that's someone, whether she's realizes it or not, like you know, she's doing it. She's sharpening her team, and it's, the proof is in the pudding. So when I observed that, I was like, man, I like that. Like or Doug Coleman, stunt coordinator, man,
Oh,
like you can't work with Doug Coleman and say one bad thing about that guy, and then everyone that he brings on, or everyone that knows Doug through proxy, they're like, I want to be Doug when I grow up. And it's like, oh, that's the guy who gets it. He knows how to sharpen his crew. He knows how to establish a healthy, dynamic culture within his department, and then that spills into the quality of work. And man, that's goals right there. And I'm not DP. I'm not even the stunt guy, and I want to be Doug Coleman when I go.
yeah, I want to be part of his family. And, his family came and worked on our last day out there as stunts as well. I know, so again, you don't know that I haven't lived here for 20 years. I just came back after being gone 23 years. I started my career here in Utah with Jenny and my OGs, Tolly, and Jenny's little sister, she owns the salon I work at. And we work out together. And the other day before Christmas, I'm like, you know what I want for Christmas? I want to be one of the Latham girls. They are just amazing. I've always envied their love, and they bring humor. Like their family handles stress with humor. And you can see that in Jenny, that big old smile, her bright, sparkling blue eyes. She'll just smile, and it could be like everything's going wrong, but she's still smiling. And
I know, like she'll look at me and smile. I'm like, you're stressed out, aren't you? And she's like, uh-huh. But she says it in a smile, and you're like,
yeah,
don't worry, we're gonna make the day. We got this. I got you. Don't worry, we'll figure it out.
yeah, yeah. And you guys definitely have to work well together.
Gosh,
And
I love Jenny. I
oh,
told her, and I will tell her again. I after Homestead, I was like, man, you've made me dread the next AD I have to work with, because I just really just enjoyed everything about her. She was fantastic.
she's special. I love her so much too. Her and her whole family. Her mom used to be a coordinator, and I've grown up with them, and I have a special place, of course, because I want to be one of them.
I gotta say, the Utah crew is special. I've done a lot of work all over, and there's just something about the Utah crew that just really like struck a chord. Like I feel like I have an emotional connection with all of you guys. Like I genuinely love the Utah crew. Like you guys are some of the best people I've ever worked with. The camera team, Jeannie, like everyone is just so talented, hardworking. You guys get your hands dirty. You guys go the extra mile, and you do it with such a good attitude. If I had my way, I would just like take the Utah crew everywhere with me. Like it's just, and you guys welcomed me, with open arms. Like it was just, I felt like I felt the love. I felt like I was at home. Um, and that's why if Homestead starts up again, I'm more excited to just team up with the Utah crew, just because it's just great. I mean, John Williams, Chris, just everyone, Tia, Tali, like all of them, fantastic, just the best.
I agree. That's why I came back after 20 years of working in the union world. I'm like, where do I want to live now? I got my kids through college, and I am so happy to be back here. I'm so happy to have met, Brittany. And so I didn't know you weren't from Utah when you sat next to me in production. I'm like, oh, I'm the new girl,
Oh yeah. But now it's like after the 2 episodes, I was like, do I want to live in Utah? Am I gonna leave LA and move to Utah? I don't know. Is that even a possibility? So I never thought about leaving LA until I shot in Utah. I'm still not 100% sold on moving to Utah, but you never know.
International airport, easy to get anywhere. Come on.
Yeah, maybe I'll meet my wife in Utah. Maybe she's
Exactly.
there.
Yeah. We're all mountain goats. We just love working outdoors and know how to stay warm in the climates. And the crew are exceptional. And it's a
Okay.
small pond, so it's very intimate, you know?
Yeah, it's all impressive, and you could just see the talent. Even I mean, I know of some filmmakers that I haven't even worked with, but I know of them, and they're Utah based, and they're all just so talented.
Yay.
Go Utah!
Go Utah.
Utah, get me too. Just kidding. Can I say that? I don't know if I
What's
can.
it mean?
What does that mean?
No, it's from oh my gosh. The surfer movie Point Break.
My mom did
Utah,
that.
get me too.
The first
It
one
was
or the
an
second one?
unscripted. I think it was the first one. But it was an unscripted thing. He was going to get like a burger or a hot dog or something, and he was just like, Utah, get me too. I don't know.
We're gonna have to watch that again.
Yeah, I'll have to revisit that one.
Can I
Yeah.
tell the quick story about my mom and Point Break, the original?
Yeah.
So, as I said, I'm a second generation hairstylist for film. My mom was on second unit. They're filming over the Mojave Desert, and she went up on the airplane because there were going to be some stunt people, and the DP was going to be in the helicopter. Do you know this story, Matthew?
No.
So up at 8,000 feet, my mom's, I think in her 50s at that time, shorts, sandals. They threw out, what's it called? It's like they threw out the marker, second team basically to rack focus and get the marks. And the plane and the helicopter collide. And the pilot in the airplane that my mom was in with an emergency round chute said, everybody out. I don't think I can get down safely. So my mother, not tandem, was basically put outside and had to, at 8,000 feet, float down with this chute. And she didn't know what she was doing. They're trying to tell her, look this way or when you land. But she got scared when she started landing and she pulled up her legs and landed on her bum. So she broke her tailbone. So I'm in Utah at this time. I think I was up in the mountains filming some 911 movie. And I get a phone call from her and she's like, your mom's got a story to tell you. And she tells me this horrible story. She was out of work for a year, but that's the Point Break story I know. And so when you see that movie, you can think of mom.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy story. There's I mean, the times have changed. I don't know if that would even be a thing nowadays, with
Yeah.
all the accidents that happen.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to go up in airplanes or helicopters when we're working. And it was all about getting the shot or who knows what, the winds.
Yeah, I mean, on Homestead, I rode a helicopter for that sequence with
Chip.
Chip, and that was actually my first time in a helicopter.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is cool. Like, thanks Homestead for giving me this opportunity, flying in a helicopter for the first time.
Yeah, Chip was excited to do it too. I think he was like, I get to go up.
I told him, I was like, what a day one, man. You like show up and like your day, you were paid to look cool today and show up on a helicopter. Like, what an arrival,
And you know what? He was a flover from Grizzly Night also.
Really? Is that movie out yet? Has it been released?
No, I think they're looking to I don't even know if it's in the festivals, but yeah, it's not released yet. I'm excited to see it. It's a show.
I think I mean, we had a unique experience with the turnaround of Homestead. We shot it and a year later we got a movie and 2 episodes all within a 12-month period, which blows my mind that we did.
Yeah, we had Andrea on our show recently, and I was like, I think we've known each other 2 years, because I met her when they were, looking at crew and the summer before. So it's yeah, I can't believe it's already been that much time.
Yeah, oh my gosh. And there's still so much left to shoot. Like we
I
still
know.
have stories, so
I know. I can't wait to read those next scripts. Yeah, I can't believe it's already been that much time.
yeah, oh my gosh. And there's still so much left to shoot. Like we
I
still
know.
have stories. So. So you guys do audio? Do you guys post the Zoom?
I record the video and the audio,
Mhm.
and it has closed captions, and it'll send me a summary, so I can send you all that, and then you can play with it and do what you want with it too.
Oh no, just promote it. I wasn't sure if it was like if you guys upload YouTube podcasts or if it's all on Are you guys on Spotify?
We're on all
Mhm.
streaming platforms, and we have our YouTube channel. It's just honestly because of the edits and making sure everybody's okay with the video. We haven't posted anything yet to YouTube, but we have the YouTube Uniting Artists YouTube channel as well.
I see. So like if Uniting, when this comes out, oh, there you are. When this comes out, it'll is your like primary platform Spotify, or is it Apple podcast, like Apple Podcast?
It's on everything.
That's
Yeah,
what
it's just whatever our users use. Yep.
I use Spotify. Somebody else, it's on Apple, it's
too.
Amazon or whatever. I think it's on everything. We use
yeah, you guys are good on you. A pleasure, and you guys are so easy to have conversations with and nerd out on film and all the good things that we get to do and behind the scenes stuff. Yeah.
well, we look forward to
Come back. I'll say you have my yes any day if you ever want me back on the podcast. So
Yay!
Thank
Well,
you so much. Yes, we look forward to working with you again soon. We're so happy that we were able to connect with you here on Uniting Artists podcast.
Bye.
Bye.